we are going to discuss about the neuron. So the neuron is considered as the structural and functional unit of nervous system. So now it is made up of a cyton or cell body, dendrite, and then axon. So what is this dendrite? So this dendrite, so it is a finger-like projection or hair-like projection that is found in the neuron. So the extension of the cell body which will be having in the form of a finger-like projection, they are called as dendrites. Now other than that, there is a cell body is there and then nucleus is there. The cell body is otherwise called as two important words. So one is perikaryon. So perikaryon means, peri means surrounded, and karyon means nucleus. So it is surrounding the nucleus. So that is why the cell body is otherwise called as perikaryon and even cyton. So now, so these are the upper portion of our neuron. So the cell body consists of cytoplasm and then cell organelles and then Nissel's granules. So now these small dot-like structure is called as Nissel's granules, and then so there is even cytoplasm is present here. So this is the components of our cell body. Short fibers projecting out from the cell body are called dendrites. So these are the short fibers that are projecting out from the cell body. So this is called as dendrites. The axon is a long fiber having a branched structure at the end that terminates into a knob-like structure called synaptic knob. So see here, so this whole part. So see here, so where they have mentioned, so this is the long slender part which is called as axon. So this axon is the ending of the axon has been ended with many branches like the trachea. How this trachea has been in respiratory system, it has been divided into two branches, primary bronchi and secondary bronchi. Likewise, here this axon is a long slender tube which is ended at its terminal part. It has been divided into so many branches. So now these branches, how the alveoli has been situated at the terminal bronchiole. Likewise, at this terminal end of the axon, at the axon branches, you can see many bulb-like structures which is called as synaptic knob. So the synaptic knob contains what? It contains synaptic vesicles. So vesicles are nothing but so to store the chemical. Okay, so synaptic vesicles and also the neurotransmitters. So there are many neurotransmitters are present here. So what is the importance of this neurotransmitters? They will just transmit the electrons. They will just transmit the electrical signals from one neuron to next neuron with the help of, so they will just carry that electric signals in the form of chemicals. So that chemical is called as a neurotransmitter. For example, acetylcholine, and even there are many other chemicals like GABA and then dopamine. So these are example for neurotransmitters. Understood? So what is this? This synaptic knob contains what? So synaptic vesicles and neurotransmitters. So inside this, if we magnify this, will be in the form of a bulb-like structure. Inside this, what it will be there? So there will be many neurotransmitters will be there and synaptic vesicles will be there. The axon transmit nerve impulses away from the cell body. So this is the cell body, and here the long portion of axon is situated here. It is connected with the cell body. What is it doing? It is transmitting nerve impulses away from the cell body to the synapse. So what is it doing? So the axon is transmitting, that is, it is just conducting the nerve impulses away. So the cell body is there and axon is here. So that's why they have mentioned this axon is transmitting the nerve impulse away from the cell body to where? To the synaptic knob. So inside the synaptic knob, what will be there? So there will be neurotransmitters will be there. So that's what they have mentioned here. The axons transmit nerve impulse away from the cell body to a synapse or a neuromuscular junction. So what is a neuromuscular junction? So just consider, wait a minute. Now, so consider this as one neuron. So this is one neuron. So now next neuron will be like this. Now this is the axon. So now what is doing this axon is, what is the function of this axon? This axon is transmitting the electric signals away from the cell body to the synaptic junction. So the space that is present in between two neurons is called as, this space is called as synaptic junction. Understood? Or neuromuscular junction. Understood? So where the two new neurons meet each other, that space is called as neuromuscular junction or synaptic junction. Understood? So again, I am just reading this. So what is a neuron? It is a structural and functional unit of a neural system. So it is made up of cell body, and then which is otherwise called as cyton or perikaryon, and then it is having a dendrite and then axon. Now what is the cell body? So what kind of components that does the cell body comprises? It contains the cytoplasm, then cell organelles, and then cells granules. Okay, so now there are certain short fibers are projecting out from the cell body, which are called as dendrites. Okay, so the axon is long fiber. What about the axon? It is a very long fiber. So see here, so this is a very long fiber having a branched structure at the end. So having a branched structure, so this very long fiber at its terminal end, it has been branched like the trachea, which has been branched into two branches. No, likewise this is also has been branched as many branches, and at the terminal end of the branches you can see a bulb like structure, which is called as synaptic knob. Okay, the synaptic knob, what is it containing? It contains synaptic vesicles and neurotransmitters. So what are neurotransmitters? These are nothing but chemicals. The neuron, so whenever it is transmitting electrical signal in the form of a nerve impulse, it will be converted as chemical, and that chemical will be transferred to the next neuron. That chemical conversion will be so undertaken by our neurotransmitters. So what are the examples for neurotransmitters? Like acetylcholine, dopamine. So all these are considered as the example for neurotransmitters. Now how this nerve impulse transmission has been going on? The axons transmit nerve impulses away from the cell body to the synaptic junction or neuromuscular junction. Understood? So this is the general theory about our neuron. Understood? Thank you.